Chapter 4: Type of Stretches and Timing. In this part of the course, we're going to go into the different types of stretches that are done, and which type of stretching will be the best for you and your aging body. We'll also talk about why timing stretches is important and discuss how much time you should be taking for each stretch. Ballistic stretching. If you've ever seen anyone bouncing while stretching, this is ballistic stretching. The idea is that it uses the momentum of your movement to push a joint beyond its normal range of motion. This is one type that you should avoid at all costs, as it can often cause your muscles to get tighter or cause injury. Active stretching. Often used in yoga, this involves bringing your limb into position without any help from props or other limbs and allowing only the muscles in that limb to hold the stretch. This can be extremely difficult, which is why it's rarely held for more than 10 seconds at a time, but it's also great for building muscle. Passive stretching. Like active stretching, passive stretching has you assuming and maintaining a position. However, these stretches are held for a much longer period of time, 1 minute or more, because they use props which allow you to maintain the stretch. These are great for injuries as they don't work the muscles too hard. Isometric stretching. This type of stretching involves using your own strength to push past the passive stretch. You assume a position and then push against a prop or your trainer in some cases, to create a deeper stretch on those muscles, which is a great way to engage more of your muscle fibers than passive stretching alone. Dynamic stretching. This is another type of stretching that involves movement, but is safe and beneficial. With dynamic stretching, you perform sets of specific leg and arm movements that allow your joints to gently and naturally extend beyond their previous limits, exercising them and flexing the muscles at the same time. PNF stretching. PNF stands for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, and it is essentially uses a combination of passive and isometric stretches to provide even better results than one of these techniques alone. Because of the combination of stretches, this is the fastest way to improve flexibility through stretching. Timing of stretches. As we mentioned before, different stretches are held for different amounts of time. This is sometimes related to the difficulty of the stretch, as with active and dynamic stretches, but the effectiveness of the stretch is also a factor. Although an active stretch may only require 10 seconds to be effective, doing a passive stretch for the same amount of time would not produce any results. Since most passive and isometric stretches require at least 1 minute for each of the major muscles, you'll need to make sure that you give yourself plenty of time for each stretching session. Allowing your muscles to stretch for at least a minute each, gives them a chance to gradually stretch out and maintain that position for long enough to impact that muscle for more than a couple of minutes after your session.